Yo, what is good, everybody? It is Josh 2K, and we are back with another My Team video. And today, I'm going to be breaking down salary cap for you guys. Salary cap is a very popular mode right now because it's by far the most rewarding mode right now. You get 3 shards towards a pink diamond, so you get 1 free pink diamond this week, and 1 shard going towards an opal. Let's go over here to the rewards. Salary cap, ignore the record. Look, I didn't say I was good at the game. Did a lot of experimenting with lineups to bring this video to you guys for one. So ignore the record, man. Y'all know I'm bad at the game, so that doesn't matter. But look, I'm pretty sure the 2500 is pink diamond. That gets you 1 pink diamond. I don't know if it's an option pack or if it's just a regular premium pack. That whole fiasco they had going on, I don't know. But I know this 5,000 points piece is for a Galaxy Opal. One thing you guys might be struggling with is knowing what cards to run in salary cap. There's a lot of different ways you could do it because you could go with like a 5-man. Like I built a 5-man lineup. It's not great, but like if you want to run out there with Wimby and Braun or Wimby and Dr. J or Wimby and Shea, something like that, this is a serviceable lineup you could go out there with, and that's only if you want to run a 5-man. If you're running a 5-man though, I will warn you guys that if one of your guys gets injured, it gets real scary real quick. I don't recommend running a 5-man, but it's possible to do. And with 300 salary pieces, I got a few cards that are good at 300 salary point. I mean, this Dame and Aldridge duo, it was better at the beginning of the year. It's not great, but it'll get by. Zach LaVine, elite for 300. Another card, Lamar Odom, good. Amari Stoudemire, good. This hidden gem, y'all might not have him. This hidden gem, Al Harrington, is elite. Some of these storylines cards you can get for 300 even. That's an idea for you guys if you want to run a 5-man. But what I'm going to do first, I'm going to give you some of the top 10 cards at each position based on usability and salary cap. I'm not going to give you the high-end cards, not anything. I think the most expensive, let me look at my list. The most expensive card I have here is 2,500 salary points. So this is just cards to keep in mind because it changes. I don't know if it's every Friday or every 2 Fridays, but the salaries do change. So this is going to vary from week to week, but this is between cards I've tested out and cards I run into a lot in salary cap. Point guards, Marcus Smart, 2,500 salary cap. Absolute beast. He's probably the point guard you'll see the most. Him and this next card I'm going to talk about. Elite defense, good release, can slash, can do it all. And for a salary cap lineup, that's kind of what you want out of your point guard. My number 2 for 800 salary points, Mario Chalmers. He might be the best salary cap point guard in the game. I'm not even kidding with you guys. Like, he is that good. He does everything on the court. My 3rd card, if you've got him, Baron Davis. 1,200 salary points. Okay release, good 3-ball, good slasher, great defense. He's a very solid option for only 1,200 points. You really can't beat it. My number 4 point guard, Chris Paul. 2,500 salary points. If you tried this card when he first came out, this card was elite. I swear, when I face him, he's Zach LaVine, the way he throws down with that 60 drive and dunk. Good defensively, holds his own. I mean, if you run into a tall point guard, it's kind of GG's, but who's really running tall point guards in salary cap? My number 5, where is he at? Right here. Ruby Austin Rivers. He might be a little outdated at this point, but this card had a time where he was elite at that point guard position. 800 salary points, decent release, 87 3-ball, good defensively. He's a solid card to run at point guard. Number 6 on my point guard list, I personally haven't rocked out this card, but so many people have suggested him. Josh Giddey, storylines card, 6'8" point guard, only 800 salary. His stats look pretty average across the board, but I mean, a 6'8" point guard, I mean, he holds his own out there. I've definitely run into that card a lot. I haven't had too many problems with him, but for only 800 salary points, it's a tough card to really top. Pause. My fault. Anthony Black. 300 salary. 6'7" point guard. Elite card. One thing I will say. He's elite for a emerald. Don't go buy this card unless you have him already. Look at this. 35,000 for an emerald. Guys, I'm not kidding. This is what people are doing for salary cap right now. If you want to know if salary cap is lit right now, 35,000 for an emerald. That's one thing you got to note. Number 8, Stephon Castle. Same thing with Anthony Black. Stephon Castle, 6'7" point guard, only 500 salary cap points. I mean, 83 3-ball. He's really good card. This is a card that I've wanted to test out, but I've never bought him because, I mean, 40K for an emerald. I'm good, miss me with that. But with all these storylines packs that you're getting from your 5 or your 3 streaks in the park and the free packs that we've gotten, if you have this card, you should be using him in salary cap for 500. No brainer. He needs to be in your lineup, man. Another card that I really, really like, Kobe White. 2,500 salary. He's on the higher end of the cards that I put on here, but offensively, this card is great. People thought I was crazy when I was saying it. Like, I tried to tell my boy Ant Live about this card. He thought that I was seeing ghosts or something. He didn't believe a word I was saying, but this card offensively, this the poor man Zach LaVine right here. Don't at me. And my number 10 point guard on the list, this Derek Anderson. 6'5", 1,200 salary cap points, 89 3-ball, 80 drive and dunk, decent enough defensive stats, plus he's 6'5", big body, pause. He's a good point guard rounding out the bottom half of my list. I'm not saying that you're not going to have better cards out there, but I just want to put you guys on game for their price. All these cards are pretty much worth it. Now, the shooting guard position. First card I have right here. Klay Thompson. Once you have this Klay Thompson Evo'd Elite 3&D card, right now he's only 800 salary points. It is a no-brainer to have this Klay Thompson in your lineup at this point. Another card that is an Evo card that you could be running in the lineup. I took him out of my lineup because I didn't have him Evo'd, but now I got him Evo'd. He might have to see the court. 1,500 for this new Anthony Edwards season level 1 Evo. His Evo is kind of tedious. You got to do it in domination more than likely, but this is a really good card for only 1,500. I wish he had better defensive stats, but beggars can't be choosers. At my 3 for my shooting guards, Danny Green. He was a free card in the park a few weeks back. If you got the card, 2,500 is a little bit on the higher end, but if you're looking for that middle tier salary card to fill out the rest of your lineup, elite 3&D option. 96 3-ball, 94 perimeter, 90 steal, great badges. Like, look at these Hall of Fame badges. He is a beast out there. That is a perfect card to run if you're looking for somebody in that 2,000 range. 2,500 it's a solid pickup right there. At my 4 for the shooting guards, Thabo Sefolosha, 6'6", 1,200 salary. 3&D. That's one thing you're going to see a lot from the shooting guard position is a lot of 3&D cards. I'm not going to lie to you. 93 ball, 85 drive and dunk, 94 perimeter, 93 steal, good interior, 80 strength. I mean, that's a really well-rounded card to be running at your 2. Now, I said you were going to get a lot of 3&D cards at the shooting guard, but at the 5, there ain't no D in this card. Pause, no Diddy. But Zach LaVine, his stats aren't great, but this Evo starter Zach LaVine at Ruby for 300 salary is immaculate. If you've used a Zach LaVine card this year, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He gets busy on offense. And if you just need a spark off your bench for 300 salary, the lowest you can get on the court is a 200. For 300, you could run out there with this Zach LaVine. I think all these cards are 300. I mean, Rudy Gobert, nobody's using him, and nobody's using John Stockton. These 3 cards for 300, you really can't do much better for 300, if I'm being 100% honest with you. My number 6. This card's kind of, not a lot of people really have him. There were some people gassing this card at the beginning of the year for good reason. For 800 salary, as a Buki, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce Buddy's first name. You got it, all right? Trust me. I don't want those problems. But an 89 3-ball, 85 drive and dunk, 87 perimeter, 87 steal. Out of a Sapphire that costs you, what, 800 salary points? Very solid. At my 7th spot, Cam Reddish. This card right here, definition of a 3-and-D card. 83 ball, 85 drive and dunk, 89 perimeter, but a 97 steal. This card's really out there just to get in lanes and cause havoc and then spot up in a corner. That's all this card's going to do for you out there. But for 500 salary, can you complain? Like, the card does it all. 6'7" at the shooting guard position. He gets bumpy. Like, the card is exactly what you need for a very cheap price. My number 8. Where is he at? Right here. Diamond Doug Christie for 2,000 salary. 88 through ball, 80 drive and dunk, 93 perimeter, 93 steal. Interceptor, immovable enforcer, on-ball minutes, Hall of Fame badges. Those badges are elite. And for only 2,000 salary, this card is a monster. I loved this card when he first dropped. I ran him on my main showdown lineup. I just loved what this card brought for the team. And he can low-key move a little bit. You know, I can't dribble, but he got it. All right, he got it. Trust me. At my number 9, this card, if he wasn't, I don't even know how expensive he is because I got lucky and got him out of one of my deluxe packs. Bilal Coulibaly, 800 salary, 6'8" shooting guard, 89 3-ball, 90 driving dunk, 88 perimeter, 90 steal, 80 block, 82 interior. This card right here is probably my favorite shooting guard to use in salary cap. This card just does everything on the court well. I have zero complaints about this card. Good release, really good defensively, good stats, good badges, all of that. Great card. At my number 10, Zachary Richeche. I believe that's how it's pronounced. 800 salary. I haven't given this card too much run yet, but he's a 6'10" shooting guard. I might be tripping. I might have to get him in the lineup ASAP. He could turn my record completely around. Honestly, 86 3-ball, 80 driving dunk. The defense doesn't look great, but you're talking about a 6'10" shooting guard. Let me see. Does he have any tendencies for the defensive side of the ball? 70 pass interception, 6'10". He might get in those lanes. You never know, really. You never know, really. But we'll move on to the small forward. And in my opinion, the best salary cap small forward you could really have right now is this Paul George. 89 Paul George, 800 salary. Paul George cards are always great in the game. Even if the stats aren't the best, it's Paul George. He's got a super easy release, plays great defense, is athletic. What more can I say about the card? It's Paul George. His cards always play great in 2K. Now, this card right here. This is for my people who actually got this card, because I don't know how many of you guys were playing back in October or if you just recently got the game. But this Jaime Jaquez, granted, he's only 6'6" at the small forward. For 2,000 salary, he is a monster. Well-rounded, 87 3-ball, 95 drive and dunk. Good balanced defensive stats. Like, I like this card. I had a hard time getting the hang of his release. I don't know why, because it's an easy release. It's definitely a me problem. But you'll see a lot of this card when you run online, and for good reason. For only 2,000, he gives you a little bit of everything. He's got good badges. Definitely a card I would recommend. At my number 3, I just recently got this card for my 7-day login. This Trevor Ariza. And I thought about giving him a try. 1,500 salary, 6'8". 86 3-ball, 90 drive and dunk, 90 perimeter, 81 steal. For 1,500 salary, he really good 3-and-D card. At my number 4, I was talking about, I don't know how many of you guys were playing in October. I don't know how many of you have been here since day 1. But this Jason Tatum, I love Jason Tatum's jumper in this game. I don't know if that's a common thing, but if you also like Tatum for 800 salary, this card, he does a little bit of everything. And you got the card for completely free. So if you've been playing since the beginning of the year, you have this card for 800. What is it? 800 salary cap. It's a tough card to beat. At my number 5 for the small forward position, Sapphire Rocco. 6'9", can play small forward or power forward. Only 800 salary. 800 salary is on the higher end for Sapphires, but this card plays better than a Sapphire card should, in my opinion. 86 3-ball, he doesn't have any driving dunk or standing dunk. This guy, when I say he's a cone on offense, he will sit in the corner and do nothing but shoot the hell out of the ball. But really good defensive stats, and for 800 at 6'9" at the small forward, he's a really good card. Great badges. He's not too expensive either. He's a really good budget option to run out there. Probably at your backup 3. I don't see too many people starting him, but I do see him come off a lot of people's bench. My number 6 on the small forward list, I wasn't going to put this card. I wasn't. And then I played him a couple times, and I don't know if the guys I were playing against are demons, if I'm dog, or if it's a combination of both. But this dude was out there moving. Absolutely just cooked me. For 2,000 salary, he might not be a bad card to try out. 78 3-ball, but he's got a pretty easy release. 85 drive and dunk. Pretty balanced defensively. Pretty athletic. He's a good card to try. One thing that I noticed when I put my lineups together is the 2,000 and the 2,500 price range are very important to know what good cards are in that area, if that makes sense. Because I feel like it's easy to find your high-end tier cards, and then it's easy to find those budget guys. But those guys in the middle, the in-between, the 2,000s, the 2,500s, those you don't really know what cards are going to be in that range. So that's kind of what the point of this video is to put you on to what cards are in that range. Another card that I haven't been running, and every time I stream, everybody in the chat is just cooking me, why am I not running this card? And because, if I'm being honest, I was just being lazy. I didn't feel like spending the 8K that he was going for. I was able to get him for like 4K. I could have got him for cheaper, but I was stubborn. But eventually I caved. Ruby Sharif Abdul Rahim. He's been elite for what, 3 months now? Like, this card came out very early on, but 6'9", can play power forward or small forward. Butter release, only 800 salary, 83 3-ball, 85 drive and dunk. Defensive stats, nothing great, but pretty well balanced, decent rebounding. For 800 salary, he's fantastic. I can't even lie, man. I wanted to not like the card because I refused to run it. I used it way back when, but I was like, he's outdated. No way I'm gonna use him. Chat was right. I should have been running this card all along. At my number 8, Jonathan Kuminga. 2,000 salary, 6'7" at the small forward, 83 ball, 90 driving dunk. Good defensive stats, not great, but this card is super athletic. Now, one thing I do want to point out, though, is I don't have a list for the power forwards because a lot of my small forwards can play power forwards, but also a lot of my centers can play power forwards. So I have 11 small forwards, but I have 14 centers. So I don't have a power forward list. This Kuminga you can run at the 3 or the 4. A lot of the cards that I've said for this small forward list, you can run at the 3 or the 4 and be perfectly fine. But this Jonathan Kuminga card is definitely a card. If you have it, he's worth it. 2,000. Now this card right here, I wish I had for 2,200 salary, this OG. I've been running into him so frequently, and I don't know if these people are just getting them out of their, what is it, the option packs from the season or what. Everybody is running OG. 86 3-ball, 90 driving dunk, amazing defensively. I really like this card. If I had this card, he would most certainly be in my lineup, but I'm not paying 70,000 for a salary cap card. I refuse. I've got enough cards that I'll get by. I have enough cards I will get by without having to spend 70,000. My number 10. You guys let me know if it's troll, but this is shouts out to my guy No Return. At number 10, I got Josh Smith. For 2,000 salary, 83 ball. The release is trash, but if you've got it down, you can knock it down. It's baited, but you can knock it down. 95 driving dunk, athletic freak. Like, that is one thing. If he gets on the fast break, good luck. Amazing defensive stats. The card is great athletically. He just has a really baited release. If you can get past that, or if you are more of a pick and roll player or rim running type, Josh Smith's gonna get you right. My last small forward that I have, big dog, Glenn Robinson. 6'7", 2,000 salary, 89 through ball, 90 driving dunk, average mediocre defensive stats, but he's more so out there for the offensive side of the ball. Really good Hall of Fame badges. Really good card. I haven't used him, but I faced him a lot, if that makes sense. Now, the power forward / center position. This is by far, in my opinion, the deepest position available. Pause. Big pause. But when I read you this list, you're going to be like, wow, I only listed 14 players, and I guarantee you there are more cards here that you could use and have plenty of success with. But my number 1, brand spanking new, Marcus Camby. The jump shot, it's not great. But if you can figure it out, he's got an 82 3 ball. It's knockdown, 95 standing dunk, 95 driving dunk, 86 ball handle, elite defensive stats. One thing that I've noticed, I've been running him at power forward, run him at center. That 68 perimeter defense is very obvious at the power forward position. The amount of times I've had to guard, that's when James Worthy was cooking me. That's when Paolo was frying me. Trying to guard someone on the perimeter with this Marcus Camby is a big yikes. Don't do it. Run him at the center. But elite card, only 2,000 salary, 6'11", 9 Hall of Fame badges. He is an amazing card. This is probably one of my favorite cards in the game right now. That's not on my main squad. All right, this is one of my favorite salary cap cards in the game. This card right here, my number 2 center, Jack Sigma. If you got him from the park event a few weeks back, you got you a good one, man. 2,000 salary, 6'11", 87 3 ball, 80 driving dunk, 85 standing dunk. His release is butter. He's good, not great defensively, not very fast. Great badges, though. Great badges. He's my number 2 center. Another card that I was extremely excited about that I got out of my 90 plus pack for the weekly logins. Like, this is gonna sound dumb. I've actually gotten a lot of joy out of those 90 plus premium packs for the 7-day logins just for salary cap. That's how I got Ariza. That's how I got Gems of the Game Anthony Davis. That's how I got this DeAndre Ayton. That's the only time it's ever going to be valuable for salary cap. But I've been blessed. I'm not going to lie. I have been blessed. So I will not complain. But this DeAndre Ayton, I don't know what it is about this card, man. I really don't. This guy snags every fucking rebound. This is prime Wilt Chamberlain on the court. And for 1,900 salary, his jump shot's a little weird. He's only got a 74 3 ball, but it is knocked down. It is knocked down. You can't just leave him open against a decent player. Good defensive stats. I don't know what it is. He plays so much better than his stats, in my personal opinion. I just mentioned this card, but we got to go over it. Gems of the Game, Anthony Davis. He had his time. Now is not really his time, but for 1,500 salary, that's a very, very well-rounded power forward or center to run. 74 3 ball, not great. You can knock it down. How consistently, I don't know. It depends how comfortable you are with Anthony Davis's jump shot. But he's another card who outplays his stats. His stats don't look great, but he's going to be impactful on the court for you. My number 5 center, Pervis Ellison. If you know, you know. This card, it's such a fun card to use. He's got a 59 3 ball, but he has this weird slingshot 3 ball or like jump shot that it's just so easy to time. Honestly, I'm not going to sit here and act like he's the best shooter, but that 59 really feels like a 74, 75. I'd say I probably hit just as many shots with this Purvis Ellison as I do with that DeAndre Ayton. So, I mean, is it great? No, but for 500 salary, 6'10", 85 standing dunk, 85 driving dunk, good defensive stats, 83 speed on a Sapphire big man is elite, okay? Elite. 500, you can't beat that. You can't beat that. This card right here, if you don't have him, do not go buy him. I'm going to say that. If you do not have him, do not go buy him. I'm scared to see what his price is. Matter of fact, just for this video, I'll go look to see what his price is for you guys. It's not that serious. Guys, it's not that serious. If you're paying 50K for an Emerald, it's not that serious. I promise you, Purvis is going to give you almost as much on the court as the Zach Edey. But this guy's a cheeseball. He's a cheeseball. 7'5", 300 salary, 79 3 ball. It's not the greatest release, but it is knockdown. I know a lot of people just want to off ball on him and think that is sweet, but if you know what you're doing, you can knock it down. 85 standing dunk, he's fucking Yao Ming. Pardon my language, but he's Yao Ming on the court. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. 88 block, might as well be a 98. 88 rebounding, 46 speed. I will say, he's a turtle. He's a turtle. What you're getting out of Zach Edey is just a pure cheese ball. What you're gonna do is occasionally hit an open jump shot, block a lot of shots, and drop step people. That's what he's out there to do. He's basically a Yao Ming. He's not great, but he's cheesy. And for 300, if you have this card like I do, unauctionable, run him. Run him. The card is solid. Season 2 Pro Pass Cat. Comes in here at the number 7 on my power forward / centers. Only 2,000 salary. 93 ball, 85 standing dunk, 80 driving dunk. You know what this card is. We've all used this card at one point in time. Hall of Fame Limitless. Hall of Fame Set Shot. This card has given me problems time and time again in salary cap. He's not going to do a whole lot for you defensively, but him and another big out there, rebounds galore, and this dude can shoot it from anywhere as long as you got that jump shot down. Now here's a card that I haven't used. When making this video, I found out this guy is not expensive. He's not expensive. 2,500 salary. I don't mean MT wise. I didn't look at his price MT wise. Willis Reed, power forward or center, 6'10", 2,500 salary, 83 3 ball, 90 standing dunk, 90 driving dunk, really good interior, good rebounder, 90 vertical, really good badges. If you have this card already, hell, 46K for him. Isn't it crazy? You could get this Willis Reed for cheaper and you can get that Zach Edey. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. But really good card, man. I haven't had the opportunity to use him this year, but I really, really like this card. At least on paper. My number 8 center, Miles Turner. This card, I've been seeing a lot. So he must be flying out of these option packs. 6'11", only 2,000 salary, 88 3 ball, 90 standing dunk, 85 driving dunk. Really, really good card. You know what the card looks like. It's been out a while. I don't really need to go over all the stats, but for only 2,000, this card is damn near perfect for salary cap. At number 10, Brad Daughtry. 2,200 salary, low 3 ball, but he has a good release, so you can knock it down occasionally. Really good interior big, great defensively. He gets rebounds like it's nobody's business. 7 Hall of Fame badges. Like, the card's really, really good. And that's one thing you're gonna notice with these centers. They're different, but they're the same. You know what I mean? It's hard to describe. They do a lot of things very good, but they have that one weakness, and they're all about the same salary. My number 11 is a card that I run into so much. This Alex Sarr. He's 20,000 right now, MT. 7'1", only 800 salary, 83 3 ball, 85 driving dunk, 95 block. He doesn't rebound the ball, so it's tough. This Alex Sarr, he can be cheesy. He can be cheesy, don't get me wrong. He doesn't rebound the ball, but he does not have good speed and agility or perimeter. So it's really tough. It's like he's good next to like a Karl Anthony Towns or a Willis Reed. You need somebody who's really going to clean up the rebounding if you're going to run him, because he's not going to rebound the ball for you. My number 12, PJ Brown. This was one of my favorite cards in the game. I'm not going to lie. I don't run him anymore because my team has leveled up, we'll just say. But for 2,000 salary cap points, 73 3 ball, that feels like it's in the 80s. Really good standing and driving dunk, really good interior defender, great rebounder, good vertical, 11 Hall of Fame badges. Like, I'm not going to lie. I might buy this card just for salary cap. I loved this card so much when I used him. Can I get a little snipe in video? 23.75 is not a snipe, dang it. Well, it was worth a shot. My number 13, Boris Diaw. 2,500 salary, only 6'8", but 93 ball, 85 standing and driving dunk. Really good passer. Very well balanced defense and rebounding and speed. This card is really good. Like, really good. If you're running a no money spent team, he is a very solid option at your power forward position, and he does not cost a ridiculous amount of MT. Around 20k, 15 to 20k, that is not a bad price at all for this Boris Diaw card. And for 2,500 salary cap points, you're going to be tough to find someone better. Now, the last card on my list I have not used yet, but this Naz Reid that just came out, 6'9", only 1,500 salary, 89 3 ball, 85 driving dunk. Decent defensive stats, not great. Good rebounder, solid speed, good vertical. Brick wall, set shot specialist. He's not an unbelievable card, but for 1,500 salary, he's a really good card, man. He's a really good card. Now, the last thing we're going to do is I put together a few lineups. This is the lineup I've been running. And I've started to have more success. I'm just going to give you guys some ideas of some lineups put together. I just have a few, so you guys can see what kind of lineups you can put together under the salary cap as of right now. I'm recording this January 13th. It is Monday. This isn't a lineup I put together. This is all cheap cards. Anthony Edwards is the most expensive card here for 1,500 salary. And then Derek Anderson, 1,200. And then this Rodney Stuckey here is 1,000, but I don't really recommend him. Every other card here besides... Here, I'll move these guys to the end so it's very obvious that that's who I'm talking about. Every one of these 10 cards here is 800 or below. Like, just keep that in mind. I didn't talk about the Candyman Michael Olowokande in my video, but he probably would have been number 15 on my list, okay? For 800 salary cap points, he's really good. This is what a good balanced lineup is. This is if you don't go out there with the superstar. This is, and I still have 1,500 salary, like, wiggle room. Like, if I ran out here with this lineup right now, I could have a lot of success. You could run a lineup with 4 starters being diamonds and a diamond off the bench. This lineup right here could give people problems. I promise you that. These are all the best cards that I know of for under 500 salary. If you're looking for some cheap guys at the end of your bench or cards to come off your bench because you wanted a superstar player, all these cards right here, cheap. This is if you want to run a card that 5,000 range. That's your high-end diamonds, your low-end pink diamonds. This is what you're going to get for 5,000. This is the kind of lineup you could build around with a 5,000 player. It's very similar to the balance lineup. I took out Sigma and put in Ayton, and I took out James Worthy and put in Paolo. This lineup right here might be the best lineup you can put together. At least close to it. As far as well-balanced goes. And then we already talked about this lineup. This lineup's not great, but you can get creative with this. You can get creative with this and really put together a fun lineup. If I had Dr. J, it would definitely be Dr. J in this lineup. Like, no questions asked. But honestly, if I wanted to make this lineup perfect, I would do something like this, and I would go out and get Anthony Black. If I had an Anthony Black card and put him there, this lineup right here might be perfect. Actually, you know what? I don't care if you guys don't have this card, no offense. This lineup right here would be perfect. And you put Anthony Black at that point guard, yeah. That's an immaculate salary cap 5-man lineup if you're only running a 5-man. I know that this was a little bit longer of a video, but with how much is going on in salary cap right now, I had to put out the ultimate guide to lineup building and creation for salary cap, because there's a lot of people asking questions on Twitter. Who should I run? What cards are good? I just gave you at least 10 players at every single position, none of them being more expensive than 2,500 salary cap points. You have no reason, unless you have no MT or anything, to say you don't know what cards to run. I just gave you like almost 60 players to consider. And I promise you, don't let the record fool you. I know what I'm talking about, okay? I know what I'm talking about. These cards, I didn't give you any bums. I didn't give you any cards that only I like. These are all cards, for the most part, that a lot of people will tell you are really good cards. And you just got to get creative, man. Put together a few lineups. Have a couple different salary cap lineups. Try them out. See what fits your play style. What works for me may not work for you, but what works for you may not work for me. It is my team at the end of the day. But if you've made it into this far into this video, man, I really do appreciate you. Like, comment down below what your salary cap lineup's been looking for, who I may have left out. I put a lot of research into this, so I know I probably missed a card or two, or if it's a card that you really like that I might have been sleeping on, let me know, man. I want to know down below. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 300 subscribers. Slow grind, man. We're trying to be more consistent on the channel, and I appreciate each and every single one of you, man. And I'm out of here, man. Peace.